first we must recognize that we are a sinner. It says in Romans 3:23 that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. If we say we have not sinned, we are a liar, found in 1 John chapter 1 verse 10 or 1 John chapter 1 verses 8. We also see another illustration where there was a man who came to Jesus and claimed to follow all of the commandments, and Jesus told him he lacked one thing, and he told him to sell everything he owned and follow him. It's found in two places, Mark chapter 10 verses 17 through 22 and Luke chapter 18 verses 20 through 23. Now the illustration there is a man who obviously thought that he had done everything he needed to do, that he was a good man, but the one thing that held him back was his possessions or material things. Now, to look a little bit further into what sin really looks like, we can look at Romans chapter 3 verses 10 and 18. The list is as follows. We have unrighteousness. They don't understand or even seek God. They practice deceit. Their mouths are full of cursing and bitterness. They're swift to shed blood. Ruin and misery mark their ways, and they don't know peace. Now that we've taken a look and seen what sin is, let's see what our consequences of sin is. In Romans 6:23, you'll find what the consequences is death. And we'll look a little bit further, a little bit deeper. We see hell is described in Revelations 20, verse 14. It says, "Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. The lake of fire is the second death." Now, we're not talking of physical death. It's a spiritual death. That's why it's called the second death. Everyone is called to die at least once. Okay. Now there is more about hell, and it's described further, I think best described in Luke 16 verse 23 through 26. Okay. This is in hell, where he was in torment. He looked up and saw Abraham far away, with Lazarus by his side. So he called him, "Father Abraham, have pity on me, and send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, because I am in agony in this fire." But Abraham replied, "Son, remember that in your time you received your good things, while Lazarus received bad things. But now he is in comfort, and you are in agony. And besides all this, between us and you, a great chasm has been fixed, so that those who want to go from here to you cannot, nor can anyone cross over from there to us." So there's going to be a chasm and a separation. It's a separation from God, a separation from our loved ones, and there will be agony there. The Bible does describe it as such. But there is hope. God demonstrates his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Jesus died for us. Romans chapter 5, verses 8. Now, if we confess with our mouth and believe in our hearts, we are saved. Romans 10, verse 9, and Romans 10, verses 13. We do have peace with God and are justified through our faith. Romans 5, verse 1. And the Lord is coming back. He is going to make a place for us where he will wipe away all our tears. There will be no more death or pain or sorrow, and all the former things will be gone. These are found in Revelations verse 4 of chapter 21, and Isaiah 5 verse 11, and Isaiah 35 verse 10. we will also have new bodies, and we'll be like Christ's glorious body, also described in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 49, and Philippians chapter 3, verses 20 through 21, and Romans chapter 6, verses 5 through 8. And unlike in our consequences for sin, where we are separated from God, we will be with God in heaven. Those are our rewards and our hope. And what a glorious day that will be.